oh mama, oh papa. Regardez bien où j'en suis. Regardez bien où j'en suis, handicapé pour la vie. Beaucoup d'enfants sont sauvés et pourtant vous dormez.
Mon histoire est très triste. J'imagine que ça peut être l'histoire de...
I have a very sad story. I think that this might also be the story of many other handicapped people. My story starts with my deceased parents. I have always wanted to know the cause of my disability, and my parents told me it started at the age of 18 months, the age at which a child can walk and even run, but a child who could walk yesterday was not able to stand. My legs were weak and I could not do any movement on my own. My parents understood that there was something wrong, and as a typical African family, they thought that it was as a result of witchcraft. As such, I was taken to many witch doctors, but no solution was found. My parents later met a nurse who revealed to them that what is affecting their child were symptoms of polio.
Those symptoms that bring bad luck, these symptoms have always been there, but we could not see because our beliefs are tilted and blinded by our own negative customs. Such customs that Cameroon must also eradicate while fighting for the healthiness of its population. Poliomyelitis has been one of those dangerous pandemics in recent times that has traumatized many people, and the efforts to fight against it should be highly supported. The country did not understand the magnitude of this snare that quickly grifted the nation. This led to many damaging consequences.
Le Cameroun a été surpris en octobre 2013.
Cameroon was surprised by the outbreak of the wild polio virus after 3 years of total serenity. 3 cases were detected in 2013 and 4 in 2014. We immediately started immunization activities as proposed by the WHO, which include general and targeted immunization campaigns. At first, we thought that the epidemic will be attenuated within the West region, but it gradually spread to other regions, which obliged us to ameliorate our strategies.
Au départ, nous pensions que l'épidémie était circonscrite à la région de l'Ouest, mais progressivement, il y a eu une extension, et cette extension a obligé de changer d'approche.
While things are unlike before, there are diseases where propagation is not quick. Cameroonians had just an illusion concerning the efforts to eradicate poliomyelitis. Without any warning, the deadly disease resurfaced, and there was an obligation to fight back by changing tactics, approaches, and most of all, by reinforcing the front lines. Everyone was concerned. The Prime Minister and head of government at the front line of the war. These front lines were multiplied, and the fight was taken to every corner, in hospitals, at transport agencies, markets, going through schools, and even along the streets. It is the commitment of the expanded immunization program.
The vaccination coverage against polio at the national level should at least be at 80%, because it is from that percentage that we can reduce the number of cases of an illness. When there is an epidemic, there is need for countermeasures so that it does not extend and a single case of polio is an epidemic. And we registered 9 cases from October 2013 to June 2014. This spurred the anti-polio vaccination campaigns.
The response has been vigorous, covering every possible root cause that has favored the propagation of the disease among children. No fraction of the population or region was left out of the successive vaccination visits. Good health has been the ultimate prize. The fight was targeted to every root cause, while avoiding any dangerous practice that could instead create an opportunity for the spread of this ruthless disease called poliomyelitis. A well-thought-out strategy was therefore vital. As such, capacity buildings and other reinforcement efforts were given to thousands of community mobilizers who have been recruited.
La sensibilisation, la mobilisation, les causeries.
Through sensitization, mobilization, educative talks, and counseling, we have multiplied campaigns in mosques and churches all over. We have really sensitized the population, so much so that today we have not registered further cases.
Aujourd'hui, on n'a plus même pas un seul cas de refus. Les enfants de 1. Oui, à cet effet, nous venons pour...
On a constaté quand on a fait ces campagnes.
We noticed during campaigns that there were kids here in Yaoundé that were never vaccinated. There is a problem at the level of family circles, thereby making them not to understand the importance of vaccination. Vaccinating one's child is not only for the benefit of that child, but of others, because the virus circulates. A non-vaccinated child risks contaminating the others. So vaccination is a social gain.
Va commencer à contaminer les autres. Donc la vaccination est un bien social.
Plusieurs maladies qu'on peut éviter.
On va démarrer par ce communiqué des journaux nationaux.
Also dotted with pitfalls, the campaigns were carefully organized to involve the media, particularly those that are most accessible to the local population.
Messages on the fight against poliomyelitis are outlined on our program rundown. Through our radio news every midday, Monday to Friday, we inform the public. And also during airtime reserved for public health programs, there was a lot of resistance at the beginning. There was a lot of feet dragging. But over time, and thanks to the explanations we gave to the population, rigid parents finally gave in and now contribute to this fight by letting their kids to be vaccinated.
And at some instances, alert messages were sent out to bring people to order and against some negative local culture and customs.
We must consider the local context, which is primarily Muslim majority. This population can be offended if you tell them that don't visit native doctors. So it is important to sensitize them alongside these doctors and traditional healers to make them understand that polio is not witchcraft. We sensitize them in their own language by saying we have to reinforce the body with the white man's own defense power, what we call vaccine. And when this is done, you, the native doctors, can now support and strengthen them with your own powers.
Comme ça, vous allez appuyer seulement pour renforcer.
Equally, very important were the appeals coming from religious leaders. They had taken these messages to the mosques, temples, and churches.
Nous sommes des leaders sociaux et
we are leaders in the society, and our followers pay attention to us. When we educate them on the importance of something, they are convinced. We put particular emphasis on sensitizations, which have generally been well conducted and will always be done.
En général, elle se fait bien, elle s'est souvent fait et elle continuera de se faire.
These mass campaigns also needed the support of particular stakeholders. While the vaccination agents were busy in neighborhoods, streets, villages, and in the hinterlands, regional governors were meeting to formulate their own ways of enforcing the campaign efforts. Governors of the regions have been meeting in several instances to share ideas, experiences, and make important decisions for the success of these nationwide operations.
La polio, comme toutes les maladies,
polio, just like other illnesses, is socially inclined. It is not just the affair of the Ministry of Public Health. Accountability on anything that concerns public health inevitably engulfs the aspects of social and administrative life. So, talking about the Governors' Forum is in effect referring to administrative authorities. That is all regional officials coming together to chart the way forward in a problem like public health in order to find solutions relative to the particular regions.
Governors of the regions have been meeting in several instances to discuss, exchange ideas and experiences. These exchanges were important for the success of these nationwide operations. These platforms of governors have been extended to various regions. Each regional headquarter has played host to a forum of governors, which has permitted local shareholders to find solutions to challenges and to strengthen regional coordination, monitoring, and evaluation of immunization activities, while also pooling resources to solve crises, financial crises, for example. Through these forums, many initiatives and innovations for effective community mobilization have been born, and at the same time, it has boosted information and sensitization of the population. It has as well provided an opportunity to review what had been done or is being done in order to make readjustments. The replication of the Forum of Governors by other regions has brought several gains in terms of opportunities to share knowledge and lessons learned.
From this forum, I will organize and spread out people to every corner of my community so that field efforts can be more effective in eradicating polio in my community. I will sensitize my population for parents and mothers to take their children for routine vaccination. I think this forum is very important for the population of the East region in particular, and for people in Cameroon in general, because we discovered very vital health issues. For example, they educated us on vaccination, which is very important, and many people lack this knowledge.
I like to remind my municipal councillors of the threat faced by our municipality, to relay the information to traditional rulers, civil society and other stakeholders. Naturally, teachers should pass on the information to schools so that each and every one of us at his or her level will be one another's keeper, so that every child gets the life-saving vaccine.
À quelques gouttes qui lui sauveront la vie.
Lors des tournées parlementaires, il faut parler
During parliamentary tours, it will warrant that we talk about this problem which concerns the well-being of the population. So it will require we talk about vaccination, because to eradicate polio or even reach a wide coverage, we need to sensitize a majority of the population so that at all levels, even those who still think it is a taboo due to their cultures, should be able to understand that vaccination is harmless, but rather saves lives.
Bien au contraire, elle permet de sauver les vies.
Nous avons été confrontés à un polio.
Some years ago, we were confronted by wild polio virus, which was eradicated. But the Minister of Public Health did not want us to be taken by surprise with another case. That is why we encourage all parents to vaccinate their children of 0 to 5 years of age, so that we can reduce the rate of this disease in our region and Cameroon in general.
Pandémie au niveau de notre région et partant au niveau du Cameroun.
J'insiste et je redis. I insist and repeat that in the Central region, we must all mobilize so that polio becomes a thing of the past.
Relève désormais du passé.
What has been the place of women in this? Their role in mass campaigns has been both strategic and also tactical. Generally admired for their central role in the family and naturally for being more sensitive to problems in the family, such as illnesses, women have made the fight against polio a true societal concern. It has also been thanks to their capacity to mobilize social groups that awareness and information was widely and rapidly diffused. They have been at the forefront of every activity on the field.
C'est très bon de vacciner nos enfants.
It's very important to vaccinate our children because a vaccinated child resists the illness, unlike that child that was never vaccinated. Vaccination is very useful because in the past, poliomyelitis affected numerous children, leaving many paralyzed. Today, it is all a different story. All children are in good health. I invite every mother to always have their children vaccinated. We all say stop to the spread of poliomyelitis in Cameroon. We are a network of Buy and Sell. We want an end to polio. No more polio in Cameroon. Long live UNICEF.
No to polio. Kick polio out of Cameroon. These women had made firm commitments and promises, never getting tired of playing a dominant role in these activities. The woman has remained dedicated to the fight against polio, and she has always understood that vaccination is not just a health ritual.
At times you get to a home, you see the door closed. You stay knocking for like 2 hours, no one opens up for you. At times they leave their dogs loose, while other families chase us away.
There were interruptions simply because of different security situations we witnessed. The vaccination exercise could not be carried on the way we wished. The mastery of the influx of people who cross one border or the other was difficult.
Il y a des zones enclavées au Cameroun.
There are enclave zones in Cameroon. It requires logistics like cars to facilitate movement to meet the target audience. It's important to note here that we lost some of our collaborators on some of these campaigns. These are some of the drawbacks encountered, but it never hindered people from working. The evaluation done by the World Health Organization in April 2015 announced a stop in the circulation of the wild polio virus in Cameroon. So the results were positive and merit some celebration. But we don't have to forget that the fight has to continue.
When we heard that the disease has been eradicated and that we are safe, it was a true feeling of joy and pride. But it is now time for us to put a definite end to this. This means that we have to continue sensitizing and encouraging the population to tell them how healthy we are just because we accepted the vaccination. And we must watch out so that polio do not return.
The fight will therefore continue, and much more in terms of surveillance. It is important to consolidate and preserve the gains made to stamp out this enemy, the notorious wild polio virus.
Nous avons par exemple aujourd'hui
Today we have, for example, more than 14,000 social mobilizers who were trained. We have a network of women who can be used. We have our partners aside government. We have WHO that works on all that has to do with surveillance, technical assistance of vaccination. We have high-level partners like Rotary Club, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation that offer funds. So we have achievements that indicate that polio with routine vaccination can remain as it is.
Pouvoir donner à la vaccination de routine. Et pour cela,
for that reason, it is important that we have a reflection on such achievements so that we can prepare a business plan for follow-up. There is an end, which is very important to us, that every child in Cameroon be vaccinated and protected.
So, we have to be mindful of this illusion that it is totally eradicated. This has often been misleading, and the virus has suddenly resurfaced. We must reinforce every surveillance effort and remain watchful.
Maintenant que nous sommes en train de fêter un an sans polio, je crois que c'est
while we celebrate 1 year without polio, it is good to recognize these efforts. But I remain convinced that, despite attaining this 1 year without polio, we have not touched all target population.
Nous n'avons pas encore effectivement faire une couverture de toutes les populations cibles.
Those tunes and melodies of a newfound confidence, which we will always want to listen. But there is a price to pay. The price is vigilance. Vigilance, as the Minister of Public Health has chosen as the key message in his recommendations.
We have to continue to be vigilant. The message I am sending across is directed to mothers. I would like them to know that today 11 vaccines are contained in the enlarged vaccination campaign as per the routine calendar. It is important to respect all the dates because these vaccines are not only free of charge but will equally enable us to avoid certain diseases. This will particularly ensure that we do not record more cases of polio in Cameroon.
The winning formula has been known. It lies in routine vaccination, without which Cameroon cannot ensure a true surveillance of this epidemic. Although poliomyelitis may not be the only threat facing our children, it brings many other diseases to our doorsteps. So, do not let it in. Let us protect the future generation.
Every month to vaccinate.